Hello and welcome back to the SRL for Season 9. Here for your Season 9 opener in Round 1. We're at Leichhardt Oval for the very first time in Premiership history. It's the West Tigers taking on the Brisbane Broncos as Riley Murray prepares to round out his team for the very first time, a team that he has built from scratch. He is very excited, as are the fans here at Leichhardt tonight. I'm your Mr. K, joined by the one and only Sunny Tyre.
Yeah, cheers, Will, and big good evening to everyone in the SRL community. We are back for SRL Season 9, and what a way to kick it off. It's the new boys on the block in their first ever SRL proper game. The Tigers and the Broncos doing battle at a sold-out Leichhardt Oval, and it's just so much excitement, so much optimism and hope for both sides. Riley Murray running out for the first time as a captain of a team that he's built from the ground up, and it's great to see. He's had quite a career in a short amount of time, a lot of leadership roles with a lot of successful teams, so we're all looking forward to it. But the Broncos on the road, they're going to be here to spoil the party. They've brought in a few new faces, the likes of Cody Old, Kervin Walmsley and the like, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Will. It's going to be a beauty of a game.
It sure is going to be a great game. As we look at the lineup for the West Tigers, Eli Barnes, the star fullback, making his way. He's going to be one of the biggest players for them this season. After a quiet Season 8, he has a lot to prove out there in the park, both tonight and throughout the next 14 or so rounds. As they're going to spread the ball early here, the Broncos goes down to Dylan Sharp. Anthony Lee, the debutant, just feeding him a good ball there and straight through a gap. Dylan Sharp. Eli Barnes has to bring him down. Once again, out of position for this play. Now it's going to be Cody Ogg trying to drive his way through the middle. Keller bringing him down 25 metres out from the try line. An early crack here, a great set to start the game and their season from the Broncos as Bakers in the halfback jersey puts it high. Now it's Brown. Sorry, Ali Arki comes down with it and brought down a good tackle there by Isaac Edwards. And not really the kick they needed there, the Broncos, but good pressure on the chaser of Mali Arki.
Yeah, and I think for the Tigers, being a new team, it's going to take some time for them to gel. Whether or not they can do that for today's game, we'll have to wait and see. But the Broncos, coming off the back of a good season, they snuck into the finals under their captain, Anthony McDonald, and he'll be looking to try and use his experience.
Oh! Sorry to cut you off there. I don't know who was holding the ball. I think it may have been Riley Murray, in fact. But it was Anthony McDonald. It was Luke Thompson holding the ball. But it was Anthony McDonald just absolutely smashing him. And the Broncos now get the ball back within this attacking red zone. The Tigers under all sorts of pressure very early on here. As they go, Walmsley, a newcomer to the Broncos, first time in the maroon jersey. As Oliver goes to Edwards. Awkward ball there to McDonald. Off the head of him, referee says. And Pache says play on. As that's going to be the fourth. Playing the ball again. Going right. Now it's going to be Edwards. Couldn't get it away to short. Fifth and last now. And it looks like Anthony McDonald's ready to play make on the right side there. There you go. Luke Short puts the bomb up. It's going to be a very high one, a testy kick for Cyrus Marks, but no chasers coming through, and he takes it quite easily in the end.
Yeah, Cyrus Marks, he's making his way from Penrith. He played a bit of centre and wing there last season, but he looks like he's earned himself a starting spot, so that'll be good to see. But yeah, the Tigers being put to the test early. The Broncos have done a good job at forcing that mistake and keeping them pinned in their own red zone, so the Tigers with a bit of work to do now. We'll see how they go with a full set of 6 up their sleeve.
With Riley Murray now making his way through the line. And how good is the captain, just making a great run there. He was backing up his halfback before when he got an absolute shot put on him, but obviously play not stopping, couldn't make much happen. As now they go. Mataus going to Zachary Brown. Brought down the tackle there. That's the fourth. Where can they go here? The Tigers go right. Mataus gives it to Barner. Barner runs it straight on the shoulder of Luke Shaw, but can't get past him. It's 20 metres out now. It's the Tigers with an attacking opportunity. They go right. Mataus puts it up high. It's going to land in no man's land here. It's going to land! It's Riley Murray! Who else but the captain for the very first try?
Riley Murray may take a bow. What a day it is for him. Leading his inaugural side out and scoring the inaugural points. That'll go down in the history books. The first ever Tigers try scorer. And it couldn't have gone to a more deserving player. Great stuff there from Riley. Tyrone Clay just giving it too much space. And Riley Murray just heads up awareness there from him. And straight under the dot to make it 4-0 kick to come.
That was just great there. Sione Mata'us, a perfect kick, well weighted. Tyrone Clay, the fullback, new in this Broncos side, didn't really know what to do. And Riley Murray just taking full advantage of that. He did it a couple times last season at the Storm. Just very good off a bomb kick. And he's done it here at the West Tigers. They've got the first points of their club of the season. And of course, Riley Murray as a captain. So that is just incredible stuff, really.
Yeah, and he's just getting a standing ovation from this Leichhardt crowd. It's great to see. Pretty wholesome stuff with Murray. He's well earned the spot to become a captain. You know, in my opinion, he's one of the best evaluators of talent. And the way he's able to construct the team and put it together, it's great to see him do big things. But he's still got a lot of work ahead of him. And yeah, the Broncos, they need to try and tie him up here. They don't want to let this game get away from him early. And there you go, Caleb Jeff to pick it off. And good stuff there from Caleb Jeff.
I don't know what David Barner was doing there. He wasn't ready to take the run, and then he throws an awful ball. Caleb Jeff is good at getting those little intercepts in the front line, so good to see, but he's getting hit off the ball here, and the Tigers end up with it once more. An opportunity thrown away by the Broncos there.
Yeah, the rush up the fence from the Tigers, just forcing that one. I thought it was going to be a forward, if anything, but referees allowing the flow of the game to resume, so... Yeah, the Tigers off the back foot, and now they give it to Eli Barnes, the marquee superstar. And he's one of the fan favourites here at Leichhardt, so the Tigers looking good at the moment.
They sure are. Now it's Tim James playing at lock after a great World Cup, well, Six Nations rather, at hooker for Pacifica. He's looking to shape up at lock for the Tigers. I'm not too sure how it will go. I guess time will tell. But certainly, you know, you think you have one of the best hookers, probably the best hooker in the game at the moment, after that Six Nations performance. And you move him to a position that's not all too familiar with him. What do you think Riley Murray's thinking there?
Well, knowing Riley, he's really big on speed. And, you know, he likes a fast-paced attack. So I think... Oh, geez, Riley Murray, what a game he's having. But, yeah, when you put Tim James through the middle, you had the likes of a Lockie Cox on one side. You know, there's sorts of quick second rows there to lead the way. I think that's the game plan for the Tigers, but it's going to be tough against this Broncos forward pack. They're very staunch through the middle, so we'll see how that turns for the rest of this game.
Caleb Jeff, they're just going straight over the top of former teammate Riley Murray, who was playing with each other back at the Melbourne Storm in Season 6, but haven't played with each other since then. Yeah, there's Lachlan McKinnon. Another player from the Storm that Riley Murray has brought alongside him. Now they go. Murray, straight through the middle. Getting very involved early on, the captain. As they go left now, Sione Mata'us. What is that? That's a pass straight to Bakers. The ref's going to allow him to play on here. Bakers just taking the full. I don't know what Mata'us is doing. Wrong sport, my friend. As they go left now, Edwards runs almost through a gap. Murray gets him around the shoulders. That's the second now. The Broncos. Going to the left, Walmsley. Intercept here, Murray Archie with a bit of space here, but chased down. And it is just chaos at the moment. The Tigers able to get the ball back with ease.
Yeah, that ball earlier from Bakers, I think it was. That's what we call in the NFL a slant route. So if it was NFL, he would have had a perfect slant route thrown there by Mali Archie through the right edge. And the backline for the Tigers, particularly on the right wing, they're starting to step up here in this game. So... yeah, the Tigers in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, the right side, you've got players like Mali Archie, Luke Thompson, and Ben O'Donnell on the wing. You want to use that right side as your strike weapon as much as possible. That's nothing to say about the maybe perhaps a little bit inexperienced left side, but it does say a lot about the right. As now it's Dylan Sharp on the fall. Luke Thompson chasing him down. No, Dylan Sharp is going to go again here. Oh my goodness, Maverick Keller getting him eventually. And it is just chaos at the moment. A great run from Dylan Sharp. As now the Broncos go to Luke Short. Breaks a tackle. Luke Short weaves on the inside. Here's that Sharp run again. As that's going to be the second. The Broncos going left. Now to Jeff. Caleb Jeff pushing for the line. Brought down by Tim James and Riley Murray. The captain and vice captain combining there. They go out to the right. Oh my goodness. Baker's held out somehow. Barner shot off the line. But Lachlan McKinnon made a try-saving tackle. Now it's Short. One-on-one with Riley Murray. Gets help from his team and held up over the line. And it is just madness at the moment, Sonny.
Yeah, it's all happening. What a way to kick it off. It's just action-packed stuff that we've seen early on. We're not even 20 minutes into the game, but the Broncos with one more chance to try and get across for their first points of the game off this set.
As Edwards now puts it up high, tap back there, now it's Barner away, David Barner's got space, Eddie Oliver's in pursuit, he dives early, the big fella's going to go all the way here, he is going to go 100 metres, and David Barner with the second try for the Tigers.
Oh, David Barner, the big prop forward, gets the legs pumping, and you would have thought he was going to get chased down there, but the early diver tackle from Eddie Oliver, I think it was, and Barner, he's never seen that much open space in front of him. Maybe a bit of a shepherd there from Tim James, but you weren't stopping Barner. And there you go. All the forwards in the SRL are cheering that one on because he looked like an outside back on that run. So good on him. The Tigers off to a good start. 2 unanswered tries, and you'd have to say it'll be a successful conversion to make it 12-0.
Yeah, you would have to say that, wouldn't you? And that is just really impressive stuff so far from the West Tigers. They have been very strong to start, and you look at this forward pack, it's no wonder that they're really getting a roll on when they get that ball back. You got, look, David Barner, you got Riley Murray, and you got Tim James going through the middle. You got a couple, I guess, a little bit more speedier and agile second rowers in Lachlan McKinnon and Ash Crutcher. But then on the bench, you're actually also, again, stacked. You got Sam Lillard and Jeff Keane, who's yet to make his debut, but showed some really promising signs in the preseason challenge. So a really good forward pack here is laying the foundation for a Tigers team that looks like they can strike from anywhere at the moment.
Yeah, they just got depth right across their team. And, you know, the fact that you've got Sam Lillard on the bench roaring to get out there, you know, that's going to be something that the Broncos will find less than ideal. But still within the game, you know, they've just been making some mistakes and, yeah, allowing some soft tries to be scored. So if they can tighten up there and try and get one back on the board, then I reckon they'll go a long way towards getting back, but it's just all Tigers at the moment. Oh, Luke Thompson. Short kick there. Tyron Clay on the left edge. He's brought down, and there you go. Now the Broncos have got a good look here. We'll see what they can do with it.
They will, in fact, as Luke Short now. Ramping up through the middle. Brought down by Keller. And the legs is Riley Murray's. That's the second. 30 metres out. And the Broncos, they need to hold onto the ball here. They haven't really been able to hold onto the ball in key positions until that last set that they had down here, which obviously led in a try the opposite way. So they really need to just complete here whether they score points or not. And they obviously cannot let another runaway try. As Luke Short comes off the head there of Maverick Keller, and it's going to be a 6 again, in fact. And just rushed up upon Caleb Jeff. Thought he was going to be in a good amount of space, but just getting the hand of Mav Keller. As now they go. Eddie Oliver going left. Coven Walmsley driving for the line and put on his back, and you'd have to say the Broncos, one of the best second row combinations in the league at the moment with Coven Walmsley and Cody Ogg. Obviously, the New South Wales Blues Season 8 second row pairing. As Luke Short now, driving forward. Brought down eventually as they go. Short ball. It's a forward pass over to Walmsley. 1-on-1 with Crutchy. You'd think he's going to score, but it's a forward pass, and the referee calls it back. The Tigers out of a bit of hot water there.
Yeah, that one's going to start to frustrate the Broncos a bit. The chances they've been getting, they've just been unforcing their mistakes. There's no real pressure on them to force those types of passes out, but they're just getting too keen, so they need to try and slow it down a bit and just stay focused. But the Tigers, I mean, they're really turning up and giving us a show. We've been waiting all season for it, or all off season. Another 40 at 20. No, Sion Modelis is just going to boot it downfield. But yeah, the Tigers have turned up.
It's a great kick, in fact, from Sione Madus. And no, Clay, he's pushed back, almost back in his own in-goal, and that is a great kick there from Sione Madus. And now it's the Broncos' responsibility to fight out of their own end when it looked like it was going to be an easy set for them.
Yeah, and someone really needs to step up for the Broncos. There hasn't been no particular one player that's really taken it by the scruff, so it'll be interesting to see. You'd have to think Amac and Luke Short are the ones that are your go-tos, but you've got Coven Walmsley there as well. He's one of the best second rollers in the game, so there's a lot of options for the Bronx. They just got to find out what clicks. And there you go, Tuxiog through the middle.
Great stuff there. Tuxiog just making his way up through the middle of the field. Gets to halfway on the 5th. The Broncos, they're going to have to need a big kick here from Isaac Edwards, and he delivers there. Puts it down to Ben O'Donnell's wing. Need to be careful in this kick return, though. And, oh, good tackle there. Dave O'Noffelangawi departing the Newcastle Knights at the end of Season 8. He's found his way in the centres for the Brisbane Broncos. Now it's Eli Barnes straight through the line. Cody Ogg cuts him off and makes the tackle, but that's only the second. And a penalty goes away as well. Cody Ogg was too long in the tackle there. The Tigers will take full advantage of this and try and, expand their lead.
Yeah, the Broncos, they're just their own worst enemy at the moment. It's tough if you're a Broncos supporter. It's a tough watch. I don't know how they're going to turn it around because the Tigers have just been dominating this game right throughout. And if they get another try here, that's going to put the Broncos in some dangerous territory.
As now they go right, Luke Thompson runs it straight there, brought down. And for both teams, I should say the subs, I'll get into that in a minute, as Tim James, crash play, unsuccessful on that attempt. As Luke Short brings them down. Now they go left, it will be Lachlan McKinnon. Lachlan McKinnon put on his back. The Tigers held up on the fourth. Now it will be the last. And they will go right. Awkward ball there to Sione Mataus. Not much going. And the changeover, disappointing there from the Wests. But that will be a handover.
Yeah, that one was just really lackluster at the end. But, just finishing inside the red zone, at least that pins the Broncos deep. So you'll expect the Tigers to back it up with another good defensive set. And, it's just been all Tigers at the moment. The Broncos, I think we're yet to see them play their best footy. But there you go, through the middle. I think that's where they're finding their chances. So I think they just got to run it straight, play smash mouth footy, dig into the trenches and see what you can come up with.
Looked a little bit flat the pass there from Eddie Oliver as Coven Walmsley finding a bit of space. That's the fourth. And the subs for both team, I should have said earlier, that one is Ford in fact. And that is just disappointing. They were in good position there, the Broncos. But the subs for both teams finally is Samuel Lillard and Jeff Keane on for David Barner and Riley Murray for the Tigers. And for the Broncos, it's Tuxie Ogg and Murray McEnroe taking over for Caleb Jeff and Anthony McDonald. So some good players in depth-wise for the bench. I think that the difference is going to be Samuel Lillard in this next period of, 13 minutes now. With just his experience and his strength through the middle, I think he may be a force to be reckoned with for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he was coming off the bench for Pacifica as well, and he had a huge impact. He was just getting a lot of bump-offs and breaking through that line with ease. So when he exposes the fatigued defenders, then he damn sure makes well. He capitalizes. So, yeah, the Broncos, they've been on the back foot. They're going to need a moment of magic here. It could be Ray Romano to bring it to him. He'll step inside, won't get around Eli Barnes. And that's just been the story for the Broncos tonight. They haven't really been able to get past that Tigers line.
No, haven't yet, as Tuxie Ogg brought down there by Maverick Keller up in the middle of the field as it comes to a bit of a standstill scoreboard-wise. And of course, Sonny, a legacy for the Tigers that they need to continue for all expansion clubs. Every time an expansion club has come into the league or come back into the league, they have won that round one game of their new season. And the Tigers, they have a lot to live up with because that has been happening since season 2, I believe, starting with the Canberra Raiders. So every time there's been an expansion team, even 2 seasons ago when we had all 4, every single one has won that first game. So a lot of responsibility here on Riley Murray.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be that team that, breaks that little hoodoo there for the expansion teams. You only get one first game in the SRL, so you want to start it off with a win. And yeah, the Tigers, they're just really stepping up to the occasion. Tim James, big fan. And yeah, they're really playing like a team that's been around for a while, haven't they? The chemistry is on. They're all clicking. They're all on the same page. So it'll go a long way for them to keep that little record intact.
Yeah, they are. As Eli Barnes driven back there, and you say about clicking, a couple of these players have played with each other before. You look at the obvious, Luke Thompson, Tim James, Eli Barnes, all playing with each other at the Raiders. But, here and there's another couple combinations that will work well together. Cyrus Marks and Sione Mataus both playing together at the Panthers. Riley Murray and Lachlan McKinnon, stuff like that will work well for them because they have that, that relationship already. So they know how each other play. So that's really been a big part of the preseason preparations for the Tigers. It's going to be Mario McEnroe now. Just trying to get a few meters, and the Broncos looking a little bit tired out there at the moment in the middle. already as now they go. Anthony Lee tries to put the footwork on and can't get away from Zachary Brown. It's fifth and last. The Broncos go deep. Luke Short puts the kick in over the top, and Eli Barnes hasn't made a huge impact in this game yet and unable to get away from Cody Ogg in that one. They have done a good job of shutting him down so far, haven't they?
Yeah, and they all know that Eli Barnes is probably the big danger man, the X factor for the backline. But when you focus so much attention and energy on him, you allow guys on the wings like Cyrus Marks and Maliaki to get around him as well and fly under the radar. So, yeah, the Broncos, they've really been on the back foot for nearly this whole game. And the Tigers, the momentum is on the side. They're just well and truly in it, leading the way. I'm sure Riley Murray is rubbing his hands right now. He's liking what he's seeing as we enter the final stages of this first half.
Yes, absolutely. It's Dylan Sharp now. A dangerous run before, but no points came from it. Couldn't get around the middle now. Jeff Keane brings him down. Isaac Edwards goes to Murray McEnroe. Cody Oliver goes to John Bakers. Inside ball. Tyrone Clay. Pushed back in the tackle there. That's the third. Now they go left. Murray McEnroe driving through the middle. And a penalty given away. Unnecessary there from the Tigers. As the Broncos, they have 4 minutes left on the clock. They need to make the most of this opportunity here.
Yeah, that was just a soft penalty given away by West, but you know, if they can just hold out once again on defense and try and hold the Broncos to nil in this first half, it'll do a lot for their confidence. But they can't let their foot off the gas just yet. The Broncos, they're itching for some points, so yeah, we'll see how they can come up and go about business off this set right here.
Yep, it's Dylan Sharp now. Dylan Sharp down the blind side, just tiptoeing along the touchline. As now that's the second. They go in left. It's going to go to Eddie Oliver. Gives the ball away to Mario McEnroe. Pushing forward now as 4 meters out. Tim James stays in the tackle for a while, but gets up quickly. As now it's going to be... Oh, it's a forward pass to Walmsley. I don't know about that one, Sonny. That looked a bit harsh, the call from here. But the referee's just looking on the... I guess the sim gods looking down upon the Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was a flat ball. I thought that was delivered perfectly. Those bullet passes, you know, they just... If they hit their spot, as you could have seen, they would have been over. But yeah, that's 3 forward passes from the Broncos now. They need to fix that up ASAP. That's what's been costing them a lot of these easy points being scored on them and the pressure mounting on against them. So yeah, they'll just try and ride out this wave and make halftime adjustments, come back in the second half firing.
Absolutely. It's Errol Ray Romano pushed back now. He plays the ball, and the Broncos, they'll probably close out, you'd think, this first half with a set of their own. If they can score here, that will take them a very far way in this game, because they have been unable to crack the try line. Looks like they're unable to crack the 40-meter mark in the last 3 tackles. They're really struggling right now as Clay. This is just waves of defense from the Tigers here. They are insisting upon the Broncos staying on this side of the field, as that one looked a little bit forward, that pass. The referee allows that one to go, and fifth and last, 9 meters gained in the middle of the field. That is some great defense from the Tigers. As Eli Barnes, that is the halftime hooter. He will take us to halftime. It's the Tigers up 12-0 over the Broncos. Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game. Welcome back to SRL TV, where the West Tigers are currently leading the Brisbane Broncos 12 points to 0. A great start as Riley Murray crossed for his team's first ever try. And then David Barner followed soon after. And then a bit of a plateau for the next 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of that first half. Sonny, what do you think it's going to take from either team here to just kick it up a notch in this second half and get a bit of excitement going and maybe some more points on the board?
Yeah, well, for the Tigers, they're off to an ideal start. 12-0 lead. They held the Broncos to 0 points in that first half, so they'll be feeling comfortable, but you don't want that comfort to turn into complacency. So keep the foot on the necks, and plays like that, offload to Mataus. There you go. You can just tell they're having a bit of fun out there. They're playing comfortable, and for the Broncos, defense. There's been a lot of soft line breaks getting through their line, so they need to just make the tackles, clutch up, and on the attack, they really need to start getting shifty, I think, being expansive, because it hasn't really been working through the middle, and they're starting to fatigue their forwards, so they need some of the other boys to try and back it up and, help play their part in getting their team back in this game.
Yeah, and maybe to help alleviate their strain at the moment that they are being subject to, McDonald has moved into lock. Luke Short up through the props in the middle. And Sonny Sharp's come on for Caleb Jeff in the props as well. As that's an offload that's just gone straight into the lap of Marley Arkey. Once again, the Broncos, they had 6 errors in that first half. Mark that down as 7 now. They're just not having a great game.
Yeah, they're just their own worst enemy. And oh, there you go. They finally something go their way, but the Broncos, they need to stop forcing their hand. Just tie it up, play it clean, simple footy, and then when the opportunities open up, get the offloads out to your outside backs, to your outside edge players. But yeah, they finally get a good look inside the Tigers half, so we'll see what they can make of it.
Sonny Sharp straight over the top of Tim James there. He was laid out, and it looks like he's hurt a little bit. He just shook his head as he got up. Maybe he's a little bit concussed. I guess we'll see if the doctor takes him off, as that's the 4th now. Walmsley with another good round of post-contact minutes. Oh, a big hit there from Barner, laying out John Bakers. Playing the ball now. They go left. Edwards goes to McDonald. McDonald with a great kick up above. Who's going to be there? It's going to be Marley Arkey coming down with it. Arkey now. He gets a bit of space. Brought down by Edwards. And the Tigers escape that one.
Yeah, it was a great bomb there from their captain, Broncos skipper Anthony McDonald, but just nothing doing on the contest, and they let Arkey get a few run meters after it. So, yeah, the back line for the Bronx, they got to step up. They're going to have their chances, but if they don't make them count, then it's all going to come down to the forwards of the Broncos, and they've just been put under the pressure for this whole game. So, if they keep playing through the middle, I think it's going to just have its wear on them, and the Tigers are going to take advantage of it comfortably.
Absolutely they will. As Tim James now getting an offload there from Lachlan McKinnon. Break your tackle to get some good meters there. And a penalty milked as well. Tyrone Clay, too long in the tackle. They're going to take the 2 here, the Tigers. Extend their lead to 14 points. I think Luke Thompson was struck this from basically right in front. And, I think the Tigers fans, maybe they would have liked their team to see their team keep going there and maybe get a try instead.
Yeah, it's been a while since the last try, but Thompson with a great conversion there. Smart play from the Tigers. Get you up by 3 scores, get a breather in you, and wind up for another set. The Broncos now, they're looking rattled here. I think they knew they were going to be in for a tough game, but the atmosphere has just been so hostile towards them. All the fans on the hill have been giving them one hell of a spray right throughout this game, so maybe it's starting to have its impact on them psychologically, but the play on the field, that's really been the telling story of their night. It's still 0 points scored from Brisbane, and the longer this game goes on, it just looks like the Tigers are just firmly establishing their dominance in the game. So someone's going to have to step up and try and make something happen for Brisbane, or it could be a long night for them.
That's his second. He's held there. Let him up.
Yes, it's Sam Lillard now playing the ball in the 30. And coming on at halftime for the Tigers, that's Nathan Haas, the debutant, playing in the second round. Of course, Charlie Rossini. He made an error before at hooker, but he's been doing some pretty good service. Now Tim James up through the middle, fending off Eddie Oliver, who hits the deck hard. As now they go, Charlie Rossini straight from dummy half, tries to exploit an offside Eddie Oliver, and does get a good 10 meters there for his team, as that's the 5th and last. The Tigers in this red zone again. They go deep to Mataus, puts up a kick. It's quite shallow though. Underneath it, who will it be? Well taken by Nofalengawi. He steps and gets rid of Ben O'Donnell. but cannot get past Eli Barnes, and that will be the first on the 30 for the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos, once again, it's just through the middle where they're allowing those line breaks to get past them and pierce their line. So, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint where the Broncos can try and win this game. You know, they just haven't been playing their best footy, and the Tigers are just firing on all cylinders. So you put the two together and you get a result like this, but they've got half an hour, and all it takes is that one try to turn things around. So we'll see how they go about it, and if they can overcome this adversity.
Absolutely, it's McDonald playing the ball there. Sonny Sharp in the way. And it's just going to be a handover on the last. He didn't know what to do with it, Sonny Sharp. He was not the intended recipient of that ball. And the Broncos, like you said, they're just unable to really do much with it at the moment.
Yeah, it's just looking like a blank sheet of paper at the moment. There's no flow in their game. There's no real game plan, it seems like. They're just trying to play off the cuff, and oh geez, you can tell this game now, it's starting to get into their heads. They've conceded another penalty, and that's just a soft one given away. Invites more pressure on them inside opposition half. So the Broncos are, if the Tigers score off this set, we might as well call it game. It's been all Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, and referee Daniel Hellier just having a quick word there to Captain Anthony McDonald to clean up his team's actions. Otherwise, he's not going to like what happens next. As that's going to be the second. As the Tigers, surely in this position, you'd think they'd get over for a 4-pointer. A great offload there. Just goes straight into the hands of Sione Mataus. There's another go. Third. Right pass. Tim James. Fends off one. Tim James! I said he was quiet before. He says, look at me now.
Yeah, Tim James playing with a purpose. The season 1 veteran is a 2-time SRL winner, and there you go. Straight through the middle, his new position at lock, puts a big fender on Tyrone Clay. Probably even gave him a bit of a wink as he did that, but straight on the post, makes the job easy for Luke Thompson. And the Tigers about to get out to a 20-point lead here, and they have yet to concede any points. So, I mean, the Broncos, I think they've done a great job at defending when it really counted, but you know, it's just sooner or later you're going to break, and I think this could be their breaking point.
It sure is. Now it's 20-0. The Tigers, they are looking comfortable at the moment. The Broncos, they lack all sorts of communication between each other, of coordination. They're just not looking like what we used to from this team, and obviously it's not going the way that Captain Anthony McDonald was hoping it would to start off their season. But they just need to, you know, wear down these Tigers, try and get the ball back and complete. They haven't been able to complete within this red zone for a very long time now. They haven't been able to complete properly like the way they want to for a while. They just need to complete and put on pressure, and then that is where the opportunities will come from. But if you don't do that, then you're not going to get an opportunity against these Tigers team.
Yeah, and they've just got the Broncos rattled at the moment, the Tigers. I think for Brisbane, I mean, there you go, Lachlan McKinnon through the left edge again. You know, it just seems like they're just tired, you know, and this game's just getting frustrating for them as it continues to go on. Eli Barnes, big offload there to Rossini. And you could just tell the Tigers, they're enjoying their footy right now. 5th and last. We'll watch for the kick option.
Parner acting as dummy half. He puts the high kick. Sione Matakus, great kick there. Eli Barnes, he'll get the tap back there. A great one from Tim James, and he puts his fullback over.
Yeah, the two former Parramatta Eels and Canberra is linking up for their new colours. And once again, on the board, the Tigers, they've now got 4 unanswered tries. And it has just been all in their favour this whole game. The crowd's loving it. What a way to open your season here on SRL TV. And it's a bit of a tough watch for the Brizzy supporters now. They're just hoping that they can scrape by with a miracle. But it is just becoming more and more unlikely as time ticks down and the scoreboard gets run up on them. Luke Thompson should slot this one comfortably from the right, and he does so. 26-0. And the Tigers, they are firing.
Yeah, they sure are. 26-0. It was looking quiet going to that half-time, but now they've got 14 points in the second half. Only 15 minutes in. They are just looking unstoppable at the moment, and the Broncos It's all about damage control now for them. There is very little way of coming back in this game. They just need to minimize the damage that it does to their points differential to start the season off.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge when we talk about finals. When we talk about minor premierships, that was ultimately decided by points differentials, and your Cronulla Sharks ended up taking that one. So, you know, the game might be lost, but yeah, like you said, damage control. You want to try and get some points on there, play for a bit of pride, and try and salvage something for this game, things you can look forward to for next round.
Eli Barnes is playing the ball. Now they go left. Luke Thompson goes to Lillard. Lillard pushed back in the tackle there. So that'll be the fifth and last. Now Rossini goes to Luke Thompson. Puts the kick in over the top and unable to get in the red zone in that set there, the Tigers, but they're not too worried with how they're sitting at the moment. That's the first. The Broncos. Tyrone Clay, the fullback, he really hasn't done much for them, and right about now, you know who they could use, Sonny? I think they could use Justin Plays.
Yeah, Justin Plays. He was one of their standouts last season, a big part why they made it into the finals. And Tyrone Clay, with a new team, comes a new system, and yeah, the Tigers have just done a great job to stop him. You know, they've really contained him this whole game, and you take the fullback out of the equation, it just makes the job a lot harder for everyone else. So, yeah, he's just had a target on his back all game, and they haven't really let him get through.
Absolutely. You could say the same thing with Eli Barnes, but I guess really two different calibers of fullback. As now it's Cyrus Marks off the back fence. I thought he was going to zoom through there, but Cody Ogg just bringing him down, and that was looking dangerous for a second from Cyrus Marks. He became a bit of a cult hero last season at the Panthers, Sonny.
Yeah, he really stood up, and he had a great season. So I'm hoping he breaks out this season there on the wing. You know, it'd be good for Origin time. Someone to keep in mind. He's a proud Queenslander. But Tim James, what a game he's been having. You know, as time progresses, the Broncos forward pack just tires out, and he's keeping his foot on the gas. Oh, there we go, Jameson Shuffle. First one of the season.
Good stuff there from Charlie Rossini. As he will play the ball. Barnes goes to Sione Mataus, whose kicking game has been very strong, especially in the second half. It's allowed to bounce before Nofalingawi gets to it. That'll be the first driven back in the tackle there by Luke Thompson and Ben O'Donnell. And the Tigers, they are just hitting their strides at the moment. They're just playing everything to perfection.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better game to start off your inaugural season, and this is going to be one they're going to remember for a long time. You know, still 20 minutes to go, but you have to say that the game is in the bag. For the Broncos, it's a true test of character to see how they perform when they're down by this margin, and oh, geez, that just summarizes their night in one play, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty poor there. Anthony McDonald picking up the scraps of his 5'8", who was supposed to try and go for a 40-20 there. But no such luck as Eli Barnes, the one-handed grab mid-air, steps around one. But, goes to a very tight middle pack of the Broncos. So that's the first. Rossini goes to Mataus, now goes to Thompson, now goes to Arkey. Can't get the ball away to his winger, and Ben O'Donnell really hasn't had many opportunities tonight at all. As they go short side, Luke Thompson. They run it straight at Errol Ray Romano. So that's going to be the third. The Tigers. 40 metres to go and 2 tackles to do. And now it's Ben O'Donnell. I said he hadn't had many opportunities. Ben O'Donnell running it to the 20 now. That's the fourth. They go left. It's going to be Luke Thompson. Gives it to Sione Mataus. He's going to straighten up. Tries to go through a gap. It closes quickly though. Fifth and last. The 5/8's out. Who will it be? Luke Thompson puts up a high kick. It's going to land quite shallow here. Well taken though by Eli Barnes. But handled well by the Broncos. And a handover there.
Yeah, the Tigers, they're just putting them in pressure, and it's been like that all game. They've really dominated this Broncos side, and the Broncos, I think they're just shell-shocked from how this game's turned out. So, you know, outside of guys like Anthony McDonald, you expect them to lead the way. He's been a standout for them, but there just hasn't really been too many players on the Broncos side that have stood out, in my opinion. You know, it's all just been Tigers at the moment. So, 15 minutes to go. They're going to try and look for a strong finish here. Broncos going to try and put their first points of the game there. Oh, no. Oh, no. I do not know how to sum that one up, Will, but I've done many of those in my time, and I'll tell you what, those ones, They really are a punch in the gut.
Yeah, Eddie Oliver with an all-time stinker of a pass. Not only does he throw it forward, he throws it forward into his own player and hits him in the dome as well. So just all round, just critical failure from the Broncos. Not what you want to see at this when you're 26 points down and you haven't yet to get on the scoreboard. It's just really is a bit of a head scratcher. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just painful for Broncos fans to watch. As now it's Luke Thompson. He'll play the ball. They go right. Now it's going to be Mata'u. Spreads it to Barnes. Barnes can't get the next pass away. Fifth and last. 5 meters out from the try line. The Tigers have an opportunity here down the blind side. They'll go left, though. It's going to be Luke Thompson. He put it on the ground for Keller, who's held out. A good tackle there from Edwards. And a handover.
Yeah, the Broncos counting their blessings there. That one was dangerous. And the Tigers have just looked at all night. And this could set the tone for how their season turns out. They come away with a victory like this, and they're going to be well and truly in the sights of the SRL. But yeah, for Brisbane, it's a tough watch for them. I'm trying to think of things to complement their game, but they haven't done us any favors. A lot of unforced mistakes. You'd have to think they won't look like this next week, but yeah, it's a tough one for them nonetheless.
And looking to next week. The Broncos, it doesn't get any easier for them. They've got the Cronulla Sharks. They've got your team, Sonny. I reckon you wanting that they play exactly like this. The Tigers, they've got the Dolphins next week, so a lot of difficult games for both these teams for different reasons. But yeah, just some really good signs from the Tigers early on and poor signs from the Broncos. But then again, Sonny, you probably don't want to be playing the Sharks next week because don't want to be playing the Broncos next week because if they're playing like this week, McDonald's going to hound them and they will. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Eddie Oliver's going to go to the sin bin.
He's getting marched.
He's getting marched.
Oh,
Mum, take a picture. And that is just the icing on the cake, isn't it? That is a summary of the game that they've had. That is unneeded, unwarranted, and I mean, they had a fair warning. Daniel Hellier said before if they have any more held in tackle penalties, someone was going to sit down. Sure enough, he's done exactly that, so well done to the young referee there. And the Tigers, you think they'd be attacking this middle with all forces. The Broncos just not happy with the corner post, just absolutely taking it out of the ground and letting it lay in the try zone, hoping it blocks a try.
Yeah, it's just gone from bad to worse for Brisbane. And Eddie Oliver, he copped the spray going through the tunnel. He got called all sorts of names under the sun. We can't really repeat what was said, but the Tigers, they're looking for another one to just land a kick in the guts against the Bronx. They give it straight to Mata'u, and it's as easy as you could ask. Oh, and it's just a nightmare for Brisbane tonight, but it's jubilation and joy for the West Tigers.
Oh my goodness, just easy try there. Sione Mata'u found a gap. That's probably where Eddie Oliver would have been, you'd like to think. Somewhere around the ruck and just straight over. A gap easy as can be. Easy try there for Sione Mata'u. And the Broncos, it's not going to look any better with them. They've only got 12 players on the field. It is just going to continue to be like this, I think, Sonny.
Yeah, they just want to close their eyes and go to sleep because this one is just done and dusted. And I'm actually getting word that in the SRL chat it's trending the Eddie Oliver sin bin. There's a lot of words being said around that. Oh, geez. And yeah, Eddie just look. I'm not one to criticize players, but Eddie Oliver, he really has had an all-time stinker tonight. He's put his team under a lot of pressure and giving away that sin bin right there. That one is just letting your team down. So he wanted to embrace that villain role in the SRL, and that is not the way you want to start it off.
No, it is not. And I mean, we're going to get dev players sorted this week, so I hope that they have someone good up their sleeves here, the Broncos, because they will need to use them. Eddie Oliver will not be playing next week after that one.
Oh yeah, he'll be missing the game against the Sharks. So that's that's got to be tough for the Broncos. Haven't got anything.
It could be a help more than a hindrance with the way Eddie's played tonight. So You never really know, but the problem is they don't really have a backup hooker. So, yeah, I mean, best of luck to them next week.
Yeah, it'll be tough. But yeah, the Tigers, they're just having fun out there. They're just balling how they want to ball, and the Broncos under pressure once again. Good take by Ray Romano. But yeah, I mean, enough about the Broncos. Let's get on with the Tigers. Penalty given away there. But they have just stood out. Everyone in their team has played their part. And we spoke about their lineups: Eli Barnes, Tim James, Riley Murray, Lockie McKinnon. I mean, there's just so much experience, and you can see that all coming to fruition in this game. And yeah, it's great to see for the new boys. They're certainly not playing like a new team. And they want to finish this one off strong. They could hold the Broncos to 0, just to add a little cherry on top. And we'll see how they finish out the game.
Yeah, they sure will. Now they go. Coven Walmsley.
He's held there. Right, that's the third.
Not able to make too many meters there as Edwards goes to Jeff. Jeff pushing forward, and the Broncos, even with the help of a penalty, they can't escape their own half. Edwards is going to try and kick him out of trouble here. But just even then, Eli Barnes, it's nowhere near the touchline. Barnes takes it comfortably and loops around. That's going to be the first. They got 5 minutes left here. The Tigers, they may be looking to crack their first 40-pointer. Oh! Rossini is cleaned up there by Caleb Jeff. And, I mean, he actually has had quite a good Caleb Jeff, and he's still got a bit of venom about him.
Yeah, him and Amac, Luke Short, they've been the standouts for the middles. They're from Brisbane, but, geez, that 6-a-game call. I mean, this is the worst game you could have asked for if you're the Broncos. I'd be surprised if any of them are still tuned in, and fair play to you if you are. Because, yeah, geez, when you're in this sort of position, it's definitely a tough watch, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure Eddie Oliver will be coming back on the field shortly. His sin bin will be complete. Eli Barnes, I thought he scored there. He looks like he's playing the ball over the line. Here's going to be Charlie Rossini put on his back. And Riley Murray just giving a bit of cheek to the referee there for not allowing that try. It looked like Eli Barnes was over for all money.
Yeah, maybe the ref's just showing a bit of mercy for the Bronx. The damage has already been well and truly done. And, geez, the Tigers, there's no let-up.
Relax.
There is no let-up.
You're up by 32.
He's been leading the way. He's probably going to take home MVP honours for this game. If not, he'll definitely be, within that MVP convo for this one. But, oh, man, I just feel sorry for the Broncos. It's been a tough night, and the Tigers, they don't care. They want to make it as miserable as possible for the Bronx and let the rest of the league know that when you come and play against us, we're the team you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, Riley Murray, he's gotten a try, he's gotten that many offloads, that many line breaks, that many meters. He's also, along with those stats, he's got 17 terrified Broncos. So he has just been really dangerous tonight and really aggressive, and that's what you want from a prop forward and from your captain. So hats off to him. It's now, they're in a good position here. Eddie Oliver coming back onto the field. His sin bin is complete, and there he is now. 1 minute to go in the game. They go right. Mataus now goes to Barner. Barner runs it straight at the fresh legs. Fifth and last now. 68 meters gain in this set. The Tigers, they've got options on the right through Riley Murray. They're going to go to left. Luke Thompson putting up the high ball. Who's going to be underneath it? It's going to be well taken by Sharp. And he's been good tonight, Dylan Sharp, for the Broncos. And will make this full-time score only 32-0. As that will be our game. The West Tigers continuing the new team streak of winning their round one game. 32-0 over the Brisbane Broncos. A disappointing result if you're a Broncos fan, but the new fans, the ones that have been waiting for their team to join the SRL, they are just excited. They are happy. They are very, very pleased with this terrific performance tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to the Tigers. Your first ever win in your first ever SRL game. And 32-0. I don't think anyone would have seen this coming, that sort of result. But there you go. They really turned up tonight. Stood up to the occasion. And that one will firmly take them towards the top of the ladder. They could end up finishing first by the end of the round as we take a look into your TBC Live stats. And there you go. We start with the try scorers. Tim James, Eli Barnes, Riley Murray, Barner and Mataus all over for the new boys. And for the Broncos, all blank. And we'll take a look at possession. I'll let you break the rest of the stats down.
We got 61% to 39, but the real thing that you want to look at here is completions and the errors. 6 errors here from the Tigers tonight, but only 4 of those were incompletions. Got 2 penalties. But then you look on the other side, the Broncos only getting 17 from 24. They had less opportunities than the Tigers even completed. They had 5 penalties that they gave away, including that one that sent Eddie Oliver to the sin bin. They made about 60 more tackles. They were just really under the pump tonight. They missed 26, and the line breaks heavily in favour of the Tigers. It's no wonder their result turned out the way that it did. And it's important to mention at halftime, it was very even. Apart from the errors, the Broncos had 2 more errors. The possession was exactly 50-50. It really was this second half that the Broncos let go. And 20 points they laid in. As we look at the Tigers stats, and you run through his settings. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I just wanted to say with the Broncos, when you play like that, it's not going to be a win. So you'd have to think it's nowhere but up for them. They're going to do battle against the Sharks next week. It'll be tough for them without Eddie Oliver as well. But yeah, for the Tigers, I mean, look how many players, over 100. Just first glance, that's probably 10 or 11 players. And it really was a team effort. Eli Barnes, a bit quiet in the first half, but he stood out in the second. He got a try with that Tim James tap back. Tim James crossed the board as well. Barner over 200 at 56 minutes. But yeah, just looking at those numbers, the attacking game from the Tigers, it was deadly tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you got players all across the park. Riley Murray, real captain's knock. In 40 minutes, he ran 117 meters. He made 15 tackles. He made probably 10 of those were big hits. 2 line breaks and a try. He was really something special tonight. I mean, the halves, Sione Mata'u's playing at 5'8". He got 2 try assists. Charlie Racine in that second half, he got 2 try assists. Really, really good stuff from the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, they played so well that Ash Crutcher didn't even have to run the ball in 40 minutes. 0 runs, 0 run meters, 10 tackles, and none missed. I mean, he just had to play defense. That was his job, and that's how comfortable they were in this game. They didn't even have to get him involved, but yeah, that's
optimistic.
A real team effort from West. They'll be stoked with this one tonight, and that one goes in the books.
We'll move on now to the Broncos, and I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Coven Walmsley, 188 run meters, 3 line breaks. He did miss 5 tackles at second row, but he was just really strong, and he does what he did best, just run the ball hard, get those post-contact meters, get the line breaks where they're necessary. He just played really well. You look at players, Dylan Sharp, he also played well. Eddie Oliver, he went to the bin. He made 2 errors. He gave away the penalty, they went to the bin, and he missed 3 tackles. He made 30, though. There's a bit of a mixed bag for him, but I think it was more poor than good in the end for him. And then your forwards, your key forwards that you need to make those big meters. You know, your lock, Luke Short, Anthony McDonald, Caleb Jeff, they just couldn't make those meters, couldn't lay that platform for their halves to execute. And that's where they paid the price tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you just could not have asked for a worse game if you're Broncos. So, given that they're going to be a man down next week, and given the result that they had tonight, you know, do they press the red button and just change it all up, try something different? Because if they try and, you know, field the same sort of lineup, if they make the same performance, it's going to be another tough slog for them. So, plenty of time for AMAC, Luke Short and the likes to adjust and reevaluate what they're going to do. But they just weren't good enough on the night. And yeah, to score 0, I mean, surely they'll have a better performance than that next week. I personally hope not. I personally hope they replicate this form. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that all transpires.
We will see you next week as they take on the Dolphins. The Broncos, they've got to take on the Sharks. It's going to be a tough performance. But up next, we have got an exciting game between, you know, probably favourites, the heavy favourites, the Auckland Warriors playing away at the Canberra Raiders home ground. That's at GIO Stadium next. Make sure you tune in for that one. We've got plenty more action tonight. We've got that game. After that, we've got Monday Night Football, so make sure you stay around for more SRL action.